Let's vamonos.
Hi, my name is Joanna Lopez, owner of Texas Premium Financial Services. We are here to offer the community our bookkeeping services, CFO services, and tax preparation for your business. If you have any questions regarding the services, please give us a call at 832-990-0403. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Let's Vamonos and we are live. I'm your host Desiree and we are in a new space again. I'm super excited. I hope y'all are as excited as I am, but we're gonna get started. We are going to be interviewing two guests today. Y'all saw one, but we're actually interviewing two, so I'm excited about that. But before we get started, we're going to talk about our wonderful community events that we have going on here in the Houston area, and we will also be talking about our trending topics, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, please drop the questions down below and we'll be able to answer them as soon as we can get to them. So all right, so let's get to the community events today. Oh, as a reminder, thank you so much for Sam Rios, the Yellow Management, for helping us produce this episode today. And thank you also to our sponsor, Texas Premium Financial Services. If you need help with your bookkeeping or taxes, please reach out to her as well. But if you don't know as well, I am a Berry Fab ambassador. If you need some chocolate dipped strawberries for any of your friends, family, girlfriends, wives, I don't know, anybody, coworkers, go to the Berry Fab. She has the best chocolate dipped strawberries out there as well. So for this week, as usual, we're back on track. Shop Local Market is going to be out at the Houston Farmers Market this Saturday and Sunday. So every Saturday and Sunday, they'll be out there from 10 to 5. Great place to have family fun, all of the things to go out there to enjoy a wonderful Saturday or Sunday. Today is my favorite day because it's Wednesday, and that means on Wednesday at Axelrad is Steak and Jazz Night with a Mexican Steaks. He has some awesome steaks out there. Go check it out. I will most likely possibly be out there, so if you go out there, say hi. But yes, Shop Local Market will be out there as well. And if you are not aware, coming soon, the Frida fashion show. It's actually the Frida and Primavera dinner. That's a long word to say. Frida Primavera dinner. Sorry guys. Fashion show is going to be going on this weekend. Get your tickets if you haven't done so. Sneak peek, I will be helping out with the festival. I won't tell you exactly what my role will be for that festival, but go get your Frida tickets for the fashion show. I heard it's going to be amazing. And I won't be here on 420, but Honeysuckle brand is doing 420 Flower Hour. I was there last year. It was so much fun over there at the Railway Heights Market. They had a 420 Flower Hour. Loved it. So chill. So many good vibes. Great music. Great drinks. All the fun stuff. So go check them out. 420 Flower Hour at the Railway Heights. So also we have the Melon Mines are still having opportunity to get tickets for their conference. This is their 3rd annual conference, so go check them out so you can go help and see what they're working on regarding mental health and as far as helping people of color, women of color, for their mental health. Check them out. Get the tickets today. So no further ado, we do want to talk about our trending topics, and as thank you so much to our trending topics sponsor, which is Hustle Never Stops Apparel. Let's hear what they have to say about their brand.
Hey, what's up? I'm Daniel Benavides, owner of H&S Apparel Company. H&S is a small business, Hispanic-owned, based out of Houston, Texas. Our brand was inspired by the ones with a plan, a purpose, a vision, the ones with no excuses, and know that the hustle never stops. You can find us on Instagram at hns_apparel or on our website at hustleneverstopsapparel.com. And we also offer a pickup option at our gym if needed.
Thank you so much for the Hustle Never Stops Apparel, H&S Apparel, for sponsoring our trending topics today. So no further ado, we're going to get to our wonderful guests. As y'all, well, one of the brothers was saying, Los Briones. So Orlando and Christian Briones are here with us today. They're gonna chat with us about the trending topics. So we're gonna swing this over, guys. Y'all know how I do it here. So we're gonna swing this over so we can see everybody. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Okay, now I'll adjust as well. So I'm super excited because I'm in the studio with them. This is like where all the work is done and all of the behind the scenes stuff. So thank y'all so much for being on here with us.
Thank you.
And reaching out and wanting to promote y'all's movie, which is Journey, which we're going to talk about today as well. Let me scoot you over because you're kind of like I don't want you cut off. There we go. I want everybody to see you. But we'd like to bring our guests in about trending topics. You have no idea you're coming in blind on these trending topics. So these trending topics are mostly just kind of like an icebreaker for me and the guests, right? So as y'all know, Easter was last weekend, and that's usually a family fun time. Was it family fun time for y'all?
Oh, definitely.
For Easter?
Yeah, we're at the park, so yeah, we definitely did it right.
Okay, because there's also, when you come bring in the family together with the holidays, it can also be a little bit of family drama, family feud, or you get a concussion from the egg smashing, people getting kind of like competitive, aggressive, breaking the eggs. Did y'all break any eggs?
I broke a good amount of eggs. I think it's a little unfair that the kids get to get more eggs than the adults. Yeah. But I guess we got to level the playing field because kids get no mercy when the eggs go on their heads. So.
Yeah.
And due to the regulations at the park that I was at, I did not break any eggs.
I see. So we didn't break any eggs this year, but I grew up big family. Sometimes it was family fun, sometimes it was family feud. Just depended on what year it was. It just really depends. So, but I wanted to share that with y'all and wanted to see how y'all's Easter went. Luckily, it was good. Next topic that is trending right now, supposedly trending, is Meghan Trainor and her husband have 2 toilets in their bathroom. As you can see in the graphic, it's 2 side-by-side toilets. So, thoughts?
I think 2 toilets is amazing. It's like having 2 TVs next to each other. You just don't know when you might need them. I mean, you rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. I see this.
Do they sit by each other? Probably not all the time.
Right.
But
you can.
You have the option.
Yeah.
It's like there's having a special salsa there. It's like, do you use it all the time? You don't have to, but you have the option.
You have the option.
To have the option.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would definitely. I don't know. I'd probably be the bad one and always use hers instead of his. So I just don't see. I really don't see the point, So yeah, I would probably. Yeah.
She mentioned her rationality about it, which was like they've got a small child. They both usually need to go to the restroom at the same time.
Where's the 3rd toilet?
So I was like, in my head, I was thinking, why can't you just go to the other restroom, right? Everybody. I mean, she's Meghan Trainor. She has to have a second bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess maybe that one's too far.
Yeah, maybe it's too far, because, most of them, I guess, they have their own zip code for their house.
For their house, yeah.
So, that makes sense.
It's on the other wing.
On the other wing.
I would say I'm okay with having 2 next to each other if one's like a regular, how do you say, American style toilet, and the other one's like a Japanese style toilet.
Like with the
heated toilet. You use those during the winter.
The luxury
ones. Yeah. Like you got a summer toilet and a winter toilet. That's what you should have.
Just so you know, your sister is on. Thank you so much.
All right.
She knows what's up.
Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, we're talking about trending topics right now. We really appreciate you all coming on. Next trending topic is Ken. Now, you're not about Ken like the whole Barbie, right? The new Barbie movie's coming out, but Ken, he's getting some like, I guess some bad juju out there. They're hating on his looks. They're hating on that poor old Ryan Gosling is too old to be Ken.
Yeah.
This is where we're at now. Ageism in men now.
Yeah.
Not just ageism in women, in men now. He's too old to play Ken. Is he too old to play Ken?
I mean,
let me tell you how old he is. He's 42 years old.
Right.
So is that too old to play?
I look at it this way. The weirdest criticisms are criticisms that aren't 100% there. You don't know. He might be playing an old and washed up Ken. That's like, you can't be Ken anymore. He's like, why not? It's like, because you're too old. In the movie, it might be a character thing or development where he has to accept that everyone's time happens.
Yeah.
But it was like at the same time,
Margot Robbie's
it's a
30.
Barbie movie.
Margot Robbie's in her 30s. She's
Right.
playing Barbie, which I think it seems to fit. Everybody gave so much love to Ryan Gosling when he came out with that "Hey Girl" meme, like "Hey Girl," you know, like.
Yeah.
Now they're like dogging him.
I like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm not gonna watch Barbie. I mean, I might, but
I think
Yeah,
I might
I
just for the curiosity, factor.
Barbie seems like the movie that will be not supposed to be as good as it, but it is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
Mean Girls was.
Yeah.
Like Mean Girls seems like something marketed towards women. When I watched it, I was like, that's a good movie. Like Pitch Perfect as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
yes,
watched
yes.
that and I was like, that's a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
And
yes.
so it's like it's those Barbie just seems like one of those things that I would catch it and I'm just like, all right, that's surprisingly good. Wow. Wow.
Oh, we got some comments on IG. Let's see. He looks great for 42. Oh, Briones brothers. That's
I wish I looked
Yeah.
like that when I get to 42.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
no worries. But yeah, those are the trending topics that we're talking about that are, like I said, supposedly trending. There's a lot of trending things out there, but we've been trying to, we can't talk about Bad Bunny every week. It gets too old at the same time. Oh, we've got a comment here I see also coming through on Facebook, it looks like. Let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, watching Marisol Ramos. Do y'all know who that is?
Oh,
Yeah.
because
There we go.
Cuz-
Awesome. Well, hello, Marisol. Thank you for joining us. If y'all want to ask any questions, we'll definitely give you a chance to ask questions. Drop them down below and we'll get to them as soon as we can. But we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this conversation. I always say it's not really like technically an interview. It's more of a, conversation style chat, right?
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for y'all to share. And so so let me just give them some backstory really quick. When your sister reached out to me about telling me what's coming up for y'all, I was just like, oh, this is so awesome. Because I was kind of fanning quite a bit when I found out he was having a movie, both of y'all were having a movie come out. But I've been following you for a while.
Yeah.
And following like the Instagram page. So if you are not following, go follow the film. It's
This is Filmatic.
This
yeah.
is Filmatic on IG, and you can see all the funny little videos that you do, behind the scenes stuff. So super, super cool. But then when I found out that y'all are promoting a movie, I was like, oh, it's finally here, right? This time has come for y'all.
Yeah.
So really just honored to have y'all on the show, and also just honored to be able to, again, support the community. This is a opportunity for us to highlight the Latinos that are doing amazing things that we don't get highlighted sometimes, but we're doing it here. We're going to do it here, and we're going to make sure everybody knows. So one of the things I wanted to really kind of just talk about, because I did do a little bit of research, I watched a little bit of things, but how long have y'all been working on this film?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so if we want to go all the way to
Yes.
the beginning, all the way to the
To
beginning.
the creative process.
The first email when my brother sent the treatment's basically like an essay version of the whole movie. You write it as a story, like just as a story. The first time he emailed me that is 2013.
2013.
So it's been a bit, and then I sent him back the first like 5 pages of the script that I wrote, and so we've been working on it since then.
Yeah.
Principal photography, which is when we actually shoot the thing, total it was probably about 30 days,
Okay.
roughly.
Yeah, we filmed about 30 days.
About 30 days, spread over time.
Right.
Spread over time, yeah.
And so what you're watching, when you watch the trailer and you get to see that a lot of that was filmed, I think the latest, the earliest film was 2016, and then we went through and were able to go back and shoot more stuff. That was around 2018 or something like that. Yeah, so it's been quite a bit of us, building this out, and that's what happens when you're independent filmmakers, and you're finding investors and people who will believe in your product and your project. So it's taken quite a bit of time to release this one, but we actually have. I mean, during this time we've made movies for a lot of different companies. So we get hired to make films for different, all kinds of different things. We've done probably about 5 or 6 feature films for other people at this
Right.
moment. So we're like, and
This is y'all's.
this is ours. This is one that we wrote, and Chris Rodriguez he's a director. Hey, Chris, wish you were here. And Chris is the one that directed it. My brother wrote it, and I'm the cinematographer. And ultimately, cinematographer means that I'm the one that designed the visual, the aesthetic, and the feel of the movie. You know? So that's mainly what I do. And if you go to my Instagram, you understand that we put that we're not serious filmmakers. So we joke around about the stuff that we do. So we like playing around. But then you see our movie, and you're like, that looks very professional.
Oh yeah. It was good. I did get a sneak peek. I won't spill the beans, y'all, but I do recommend watching it. So the movie is Journey, and it is going to be launching on April 30th.
Correct.
And you'll be able to watch it where?
On Tubi.
On Tubi, which is...
You can also pre-order it now to get a full ads-free experience at 4K resolution and at Tubi.
Yeah, and I did share that on my on all my social media. So if you want an opportunity to pre-order it, you can. So definitely check it out. It was really awesome to be able to watch it. Thank y'all so much for giving me that permission. I really appreciate that. But what inspired y'all to start working together on films?
And well, I think my parents, when they decided to have 2 sons. Yeah. And no, actually, we started watching movies a long time ago. My dad used to do construction work for this VHS rentals by this movie rental place off of Little York. Yeah, 45 in Little York. And
shout out Northside?
Yeah, shout out Northside.
We're Makers Homes.
That's where we grew up.
So yeah.
Yeah, he did that, and one time when he was working there, he got robbed. They actually got robbed, and afterwards, after doing they came out fine.
Yeah.
A little scared. My dad will tell you the house. He was like, yeah, it was a little bit scary. Had to go through all that, and then afterwards, the guy gave him a whole wall full of VHS tapes, and we used to watch movies like that. I'm pretty sure that and his business was how my dad learned English.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we grew up on a whole bunch of movies, and then
literally had a video wall at our house in our garage because of this.
Wow.
This guy gave us a rack of movies, and
that was his. I'm sorry, you got.
Yeah,
robbed.
I'm sorry.
But I think in college we both we kind of split. My brother went into the broadcasting world, and I went into the theater world.
Yeah.
Just straight stage play theater, and then afterwards we kind of came back together and mixed those two, where he brought in all the theory and stuff of technical side, and I brought in the theory and stuff of the story side, so that we can mix those and start making movies, go back to our original passion.
Super cool. We got some comments here. Proud of you guys. I think that's Angelica Ramos.
Yeah, Angelica. Yep.
So super cool. We got an also question here. I'll talk about this because this is really why you're on here, right? So what is Journey about?
Journey, ultimately, it's we say it's a love story. It's about a college kid that was born in Mexico but raised here in the United States. So he was brought over when he was young, and he gets his girlfriend pregnant, and his mom's like, "Man, you got to figure this out." So he goes and tries to get a job without any papers, and ultimately what happens is he gets deported. He gets raided. They raid the place where he got a job at, and he goes back to Mexico, and he doesn't know Mexico. He doesn't know anything about it. Yeah, he's what you would call an American, in every sense that he didn't learn the Spanish language, and he didn't learn those kinds of things. And so he's a fish out of the water in Mexico, and doesn't have family there, doesn't know anything. So he's trying to figure his way back to get back to the United States. And ultimately, we could take that same story and put it in any border. You can do it Israel, Palestine. You can do it anywhere. The whole thing where you're separating this love interest and having a ticking time bomb of when she's going to have the child and trying to get back to the birth of your child. And that's ultimately what the story's about. And he goes through a lot of different situations, and those situations are a little bit of a lot of our friends and family and people that we interviewed for a while that told us their stories of how they got sent back to Mexico while they're working in the hotel or doing all kinds of stuff. And we took a lot of those stories and mashed them and gave them to this one character.
Yeah.
And that way you can kind of get a little bit of a bunch of stories mixed together.
Yeah,
So
and I really loved the trailer. It really sucked me in. I was like, oh, this is good. Like, I want to know, right? We did have a question, comment. Thank you so much for asking that question. Let me see who asked that question. I'm sorry. Maria Martinez Barrega.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking what Journey is about. And thank you for coming on here and supporting. Also, someone asked on IG, where was it filmed?
So Journey was filmed in several locations. Laredo, I think that's like 60% of the film. We needed to find a place that was like a Texas city that is a border town, that you can have, just this. I guess it's a very situational, thing depending on where you're located. I guess.
I think Laredo was an amazing location for it because not even talking about the movie, but just waking up in the hotel and before the day starts, man, you can hear the other side. You can hear like it's split. Yeah, it's split by a political border, but
the culture is all
just a mess. People go back and across on everything. I mean, people live on one side, work on the other side, both ways.
Right.
Both ways. So it's not just one way thing. So it's one of those things where the culture so meshed, but it was a great place to be able to touch both sides.
I think it also, when I watched the film, it gave that authenticity and also that feel that y'all were really there in that space, right? And when you kind of like a setting for the stage, right? Setting up the film, it made me feel like, okay, this isn't really like a movie per se, right? I'm watching it firsthand, like as an experience. And so I love the fact that y'all did it there. I think it makes sense. And also it's just it's a story also about what we're still going on today. We're still talking about immigration. We're still talking about these stories that many of us know about or have experienced ourselves. And that's one of the things that I really appreciated about the film. So I like to share as well, to inspire other people, we need to share the Latino stories more. So I commend y'all for being able to do that, to be able to help our community share these stories, whether they're first generation or second or whatever. And I did love the fact that he was super Americanized.
Yeah, he was definitely American.
He was a chiflado too.
Yeah, he was definitely a chiflado school, American kid that doesn't, we say, like, for us, we got to travel, when we're young, we got to go to places like Cuba. Like we talked about this earlier, where you don't really understand the American experience until you leave it. And, when you leave it and you're somewhere else, Americans are the only ones that go to other places like Europe and look at people like foreigners, not understanding that you are the foreigner that's there.
Right.
And that's the what we wanted this character to take over there, is that when his parents brought him over, they left that side and they were just like, we're looking for, a different world, and that's what you're going to understand. So, there is a lot of character development that when you jump into this film, I think Latinos just in general will automatically connect with all the different nuances of the characters that we live around. Like the mom that is super Mexican but doesn't want her kids speaking Spanish. Yeah. That's something that does happen in our community, where they're like, no, you're now going to be American, and you're moving away from that. And what happens when they get sent back? What do they do?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Or they get criticized for not speaking.
Oh, they get criticized for not speaking Spanish.
Yeah. I mean, another thing is like they'll have issues, like just the idea of like papers would be like, oh yeah, no, we're getting that fixed, but they just never take care of it,
right?
And then it becomes an issue later because they just never took the initiative to do it. Yeah. It happens with everybody,
and I think that might be a little bit of our pride too sometimes. Just in anything, right? When we don't know, when we're not the expert in some of those things, we tend to be prideful and be like, oh, I don't want to ask. That's some other themes that I've talked about on my platform about, asking for help as Latinas. We don't like to ask for help because we are raised to do it all, know it all, multitask, do all the things, right? What were some of the themes, though? Obviously, the main theme I felt like was definitely the story of the immigration, but were there other themes that y'all had put in the film that y'all wanted to share with the community out there?
I think one of the biggest things is it's a love story. what would you do for someone you truly love? Like, could we put this movie on Mars and the dude's trying to escape like a biodome or something like that,
right.
trying to get back in because his kid's there? Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like if you can get the same tone, the idea of I want you to, somebody who's never been there, to empathize with this character. It's like, well, people sometimes got the same values as you, just in a different situation. So how would you look at that? So that's a big thing.
Right.
Yes, immigration is a big thing, but I don't believe we try to make a big political statement.
Right.
We're not saying
sure.
a pro or against.
Yeah.
These are stories that we grew up
But
with.
it is a story that a lot of us can relate
Right.
to.
And the thing
here
is
in
that
Texas.
we just personally have never seen it displayed this way, where like someone takes the time and attention to make it look beautiful,
Right.
and to make it feel like, okay, we're putting money behind something to make it look right. Because most of the time, Latinos, you see Mexican movies or some of these films, and they're like, oh, it's good, it doesn't look that great, but it's a good story.
Yeah.
We're the opposite. We're like, the Hispanic culture, the Latino culture, talked about the Frida Primavera Festival that's happening. The design and aesthetics is in our blood, creating and making these kinds of things. And when we grew up, the mindset was create something that's beautiful, that people can be proud of, right?
Yeah,
and that's
for
why
sure.
that's ultimately why we made this movie. It's like, for me, it was like just to see my dad and be like, that was good, and that's what it was. That he would see it, he would feel it was.
And that's some of your biggest critic, right?
Yeah,
Our family
exactly.
is.
It's like, that's how Hispanic fathers are. It's like, son, you did good. I'm like, thanks, Dad. No hugging.
But
No.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
So we got a comment on here
Sure.
from Miguel Alamanza.
Yeah.
Good job, Briones brothers. Orlando, you mentioned that some shooting took place in 2016, so I have heard that most movies were released within months or even within a year. Why is it being released only now, 7 years later?
Yeah. So I think we explained a little bit of this earlier.
Yeah.
Like really what it comes down to is budgets.
Right.
And as an independent filmmaker, those that know where we came from, we didn't come from a lot of money. We're first generation Latinos here, and it's really hard to get people to see what you're doing and to invest into it. I'm super thankful for those that saw what we have done. And actually, when we filmed the first portion of the film, what we called our phase 1, we were like, oh man, like we just did this project, but now we need to raise more and we need to shoot, almost 10 more days. So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
When we're actually able to take that, cut a trailer to it, which some people might have saw that version of the trailer back in 2016, 17. That trailer by itself helped us raise the other portion of it.
Right.
And the crazy thing about it was that right before, well, now I guess you can say COVID, right?
Yeah.
Before we would call it the upside down world. But during the time, like we had a premiere, well, not a premiere, a private screening for the film right before it, like the November right before it.
Oh, wow.
And one of our investors was like, we need to figure out what to do because the world's going to shut down. We're like, what are you talking about? You're crazy, And then sure enough, the world did shut down, and that even though I had countless meetings with distributors and different companies, what I found was that none of the contracts, and you have to understand, like, also that what we found out in the world going out there to Hollywood and connecting with these LA distributors and all these people, what they don't tell you is, and this is the gossip part, I guess, of the cheeseman, right? Is what we found is, and I take this to heart now. One of these guys that I work with, he said, "Hey, the reality is, Hispanics, Latinos, y'all watch everything. You watch Blockbuster, you watch Barbie, you watch Ryan Gosling as a kid. You watch all these different things, but no one watches your movies."
Yeah.
And that was like, what? Yeah. He was like, you'll watch African-American movies, you'll watch every single Marvel movie, everything, but no one watches your movies. So why would I give you $1 million when if I spend $1 million over here making a Blockbuster or a Barbie movie, Latinos will go watch it, but African-Americans and white people and everything else won't watch your film.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know what? On a business standpoint, it makes absolute sense.
Right.
Is it?
But I think it's also, just hate to interrupt you,
Sure.
but it's also, I think the catch-22 on that is the fact that because they're not telling the stories that we want to watch.
Sure, right, yeah. Because we put Selena on, even though they got an all LA cast and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they did all that. Like, you know, still Selena is one of the biggest grossing movies, and we have an affinity to see these kinds of films. But yeah, I mean, it makes financial sense from them. You know, we're talking about companies that are for profit and stuff. So a lot of the distribution models and things that were presented to us didn't make sense for our investors. Or for our people. We didn't want our film to be put on the shelf.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was like one thing, like, okay, so now as independent filmmakers, we have to do our own marketing, we have to build our own kind of media company here.
Yeah.
We're doing these kinds of publicity and stuff, and yeah, that's why we're finally releasing now, and we got the opportunity just recently through one of our good friends to launch it on Tubi.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, where did all the Latinos go? Because before, and I know this is a little bit long-winded, but I think it's good for us to understand for it, is that before we did this, we made this for a market that was called the Fusion, the Latino Fusion market.
Okay.
If you watch Instructions Not Included, movies that Eugenio Derbez has done, they were made for a market that existed pre-COVID, which was about 30% of the U.S. market. That was the Latino buying share. Mm-hmm. They were making movies that were grossing $100 million for that. So they were proving the model. COVID happened, that died.
Right.
Mexicans, Latinos stopped going to the theater.
Right.
Because it's too expensive. Right now, if you go back, it's $30 a ticket.
Yeah.
So they're not going back.
Yeah.
Well, Tubi, here comes Tubi, and that's why we're doing this, because we got an opportunity to launch with Tubi. Every Latino that I've asked, do you know what Tubi is? They're like, yep.
Ah.
Why? Because they canceled Netflix, they canceled Hulu, they canceled all these things because people are bringing back, they're trying to keep their money in their pocket,
Right.
and Tubi's free.
Ah.
So what best way for us to be able to do this for our people and our market that we're trying to build, to say like, hey, watch this movie for free. Like, watch it for free. And
So we did get some questions while we were chatting. No worries.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep up with them here.
Sure.
So yes, you can watch the film on Tubi, TUBI, and we had Mordidas. Yeah. So, oh goodness.
Do we have to pay any mordidas
when filming in Laredo? Yeah.
No, man. Laredo was actually really cool. The government at that time, like, they helped us out. We were working with the police department. I will say that portion of our film was filmed in Mexico. Mexico. Yeah. In Monterrey, yeah, we can say that. And we're not saying that there's mordidas there, but we can't say there weren't.
Right. Awesome.
I mean, I think we fed everybody, so there's plenty of everybody ate.
Definitely fed.
Man, we had pasta in Monterrey. We had.
And speaking of food, we got Barbecue 713 on here.
There we go.
It's a must see.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you, Roberto, for coming on and supporting as always. I really appreciate them. Let's see, we got some more comments down here. So excited for these men. Oh, Yerba Soap, which is my friend Roxanne. She said, I just watched the trailer. I know that I will cry. We are first gen too. Sick. So yes, she's awesome. She said, ouch. So how did you pivot from that feedback from the Hollywood distributor?
Yeah.
So that pitch that you had talked about earlier.
Well, ultimately, we have to build our own marketing plan. And that's like where, and where I explained we went to Tubi instead, right? Because they offered us the best deal that we can get returned. And it's funny because right now, even as we're doing all this marketing and our own marketing, people are seeing like, hey, we got like almost 30,000 views on just the trailer, for that weekend. Before in 2017, we got 100,000 views on the trailer with no boost, no nothing, And so people want to see this, know. But little by little, that's why we started April 7th trickling out the trailer, and we're doing these kinds of things so that people can.
I love that you did the shout out saying, "Hey, come interview me, come talk to me."
We have to, and we're just moving towards the 30th, and at that point we'll do a bigger promotion because at that time is when we want people to click and watch it for free.
Yes.
And if they want to pre-order it, we love that. We appreciate that because that goes straight to the filmmakers right away. If you pre-order, then you'll watch it on the 30th. Tubi, it should be released a little bit after the 30th.
Okay.
Or on the 30th. That's the one thing that we're waiting to find that final window.
Now, is it commercial free though on Tubi?
It is not.
So that's I recommend doing the pre-order then, because I'm so like no commercials. I don't like commercials. Fast forward. I always like fast forwarding through the when I pre-record, on the DVR.
I think the only commercials in the movie should be the product placements. Whenever you're like, man, I'm thirsty in the desert. This Pepsi looks good. Like, we don't have that. We don't
That's
have
funny. So was the movie personal for you and your brother? Like, in other words, was this a goal for y'all to be able to reach at one point in time? Was this ever like, I guess, on the bucket list per se? Like, hey, we want to make a movie together. Like, was that something that y'all had talked about previously? While y'all were working on other films, right?
We are working on other films. So it's a yes and no in the sense that this one came before we really thought of an idea that it was a seed from somebody else. Like, hey, what can you do with this? And then we started thinking of an idea for a film, right?
Yeah.
And coming together and see it come to fruition. And man, a lot of our, I guess you would say, business meetings were probably on church on Sundays. After Sunday, after church, we'd be like, when I was like, hey man, I think we might get this actor. And I'm like, for real? And then when we talk about it, and we was like, hey man, this person's reading the script. They might want to do it. Like, for real? And that's all.
Yeah.
So it's
things start to align, right?
Right.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's awesome. Can't wait to watch this film. Miguel came back. He says, I've seen the trailer and pre-ordered it. Thank you so much,
All
Miguel.
right.
I hope I am in the special thanks to
Probably
credit
not.
section.
Very probably not.
But I gotta put that up. That's hilarious. Thank you so much, Miguel. Everybody wants to get the what is it? The accolades.
Yeah,
the thank yous. The thank yous. If y'all have any questions for Orlando or Christian, please drop them down below. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We are talking about the film The Journey movie. This is their film that's coming out on April 30th. You can pre-order it, watch it commercial free, or you can watch it on Tubi when it comes out, which will be around April 30th or so. I'm going to ask a really cliche question because I just want to know. So, because I haven't really shared a little bit about myself in the sense that I love movies, huge movie fan. I have gone to just a few, which means one. I went to a red carpet for Robert Rodriguez when he did the Grunge House. When he did the Grunge House, I got to see that and experience that. Meet Danny Trejo and all that. That was really cool. That seems like a million years ago though. But the cliche question is, what's your favorite movie?
Oh yeah. Ooh, that one's.
I usually have a top 5, and it fluctuates.
What's your top 2?
Top 2, 12 Angry Men and Lion King.
Yeah, those are good.
Lion King is really good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I've never seen 12 Angry Men.
The OG original one, I think, is a very good teacher of film and how to play. I'm gonna start going into the technical side. I don't want to go through one, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's black and white, it's a really good movie.
Okay. And you?
Oh man, I think I have way too many films to say what's my favorite. I will tell you what's one movie that almost made me quit filmmaking.
Oh.
And,
Okay.
and that was and that one almost made me think why do movies exist? And that was X-Men Apocalypse. What a terrible movie! Yeah.
Oh,
I hope our film doesn't do that to anybody. But,
but
I will tell you that
was a terrible movie.
I think that was an easier answer than me thinking of what movie I love.
I think when we analyzed it, we're like, I'll say this. It says it's a terrible movie. It's the fact that people can get $300 million and still make something that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah.
Like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
And, but it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
Also, it made me think, man, you know what? No matter what I make, someone's going to hate it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Like that.
Yeah, for sure.
There's literally a report, all the Toy Stories, they have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, except one. Because there's a guy, a critic, he wrote an article about, I'm the guy who gave it a bad review.
Oh.
Like that, and I'm like, somebody just wanted to give it bad
just to do it and just to be that person. Yeah, for sure. Well, so like I said, I'm a big movie person. I've watched all the good movies. I've watched all the bad movies. I've watched all the trendy movies too. Unfortunately, I am a sucker for Westerns. So Tombstone is like one of my favorites.
That's such a good story.
Like I probably know it by heart. Like I watch the movie all the time. And my kids are just kind of like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm like, no, it's so good. It's so good.
All right. If you love Westerns, have you seen Once Upon a Time in the West?
Yes, actually, I think I didn't watch all of it. I think because I'm usually working and watching a movie.
I'm not like trying to call you. I'm just saying it's a movie that when I first saw it, I'm like, they made that long ago. I'm like, this is a good movie. So I just advocate, if you like Westerns, watch that movie. And if you're a filmmaker, watch that movie.
Okay.
Mama Briones.
Someone said, I'm your Huckleberry. I'm very proud of my kids. That's your mom, I guess?
Yeah.
Love you, Orlando and Christian. Aw, I love that she's on here. Thank you so much. Yes, she got to support her sons. I can't wait to watch the film. Thank you all so much for coming on here and supporting. We really appreciate it. Let me see if there's any questions on IG, because y'all, we're getting questions from Facebook, IG, YouTube. Let's see. We got some people coming on. Thank you, Greater Northside, for jumping on. How will you celebrate the release?
Man, that one I haven't even thought of yet, because I'm so like gung ho as like just pushing to get it out. Yeah. But I think once it's out, I think I mean, if anything, I think I'm just gonna lay down and sleep. I think that's gonna be that's just rest.
I guess I don't know for sure if she was asking, are y'all gonna do like a premiere or anything like that?
Yeah, we kind of have to do. We're thinking about doing some promotional events. So if something pops up, it might happen before the 30th.
Okay.
Where we're like, anyone that is doing news stories or wants to review it or write a review, like come along and watch it. We're hoping that there is a point in this film's life that we can do premieres and stuff like that. We just have so many contractual obligations that we have to really think of when we do these things. So, man, I'd love to have a big premiere, but I think this is what I really do think that there's a stepping stone for like marketing and building that community around the films that we do. We have another film coming out like maybe 2 months afterwards as well. The other one took 6-7 months. This one's gonna. The other one took 6-7 years. This one's gonna take like 6-7 months. We already filmed it. It's almost out. That one is also dear to our heart. It's called Fight Boy. It's a comedy. It's just goes on a completely different mindset. We'd love to hang out with you again for that one.
For sure. I would love to watch it as well.
But yeah, I mean, we think we're hoping that we're building up that market with this, and that will open up the door for us to be able to do many more premieres and things like that, and do it right, the way that we want to. So we're learning a lot with this film, that's for sure.
Well, you know what? That's in anything that we do, when you step your toe into something that is completely kind of not stereotypical for us Latinos, right? Especially with technology, and we're really growing in the tech field. We're really growing in the media field. We're getting that experience and those stepping stones, right? So I commend y'all. I wish y'all nothing but, success.
Thank you.
I would love to see y'all do some stuff on Netflix. I'm putting it out there. I'm letting people know, like, somebody needs to talk to y'all about doing stuff on Netflix, because we just need more of those stories, and we just need more representation. And that's not necessarily even Latino stories, but the Latino perspective. Right? Some of our stories are universal at times. They can be universal.
That's right.
And I think that sometimes we miss the mark on that. Sometimes when other people do them, or like I said, all we have is the Selena story and the La Bamba story, and those stories are old and tragic, and and we're more than our tragedies, right? We're more than that. So let me see if there's any additional questions on here. Oh, party. She's saying she's ready to party. I don't see any there. And Sam's helping me here as well. We're talking about what your next movie was going to be, which is Fight Boy, you mentioned. Can you give a quick little synopsis about it?
A quick little synopsis, because I don't want to take over the journey. Quick synopsis, a dude fights his 5 bullies. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Perfect. So, Miguel, go watch the Journey movie first. And then you can watch the next movie. and we'll
We'll promote that.
Yeah, we'll promote that, all that. What advice would you like to give to aspiring filmmakers, or people that are, thinking about, getting into this industry? What would you like to give some advice for those who are just starting out?
One of my favorite moments in a movie is in Ratatouille, where the cook says, "Everyone can cook," and I think that's like the people who are super into films. They might be like, "No, that's not true." It's like, no, everyone can make movies, but it's all a discipline that you have to continuously work out. I tell people who are trying to be actors, acting is a muscle that you have to continuously work out to be really good at it.
Yes.
Filming, cinematography, writing, all that stuff. If you want to do it, you have to continuously push yourself. Someone's going to tell you no, or someone's going to tell you, you got to be in this box. This is what you can do. Yeah. I remember in college, in theater, we would do plays. I never got to do a full-length one in college. I would always do these small ones. Yeah. But every time I did, higher up would come and be like, "Hey, can you make it Spanish? Hey, can you have some Hispanic? Can you do this Latino play?" And I'm like, this play's in English, but it's about trafficking or whatever, like that. It's there's Latino characters in it. Yeah, but I really want it in Spanish. So it's
put in the box.
Yeah,
right?
You're gonna put you in the box and do this stuff. It's like, dude, just keep working out, and trust me, someone's gonna see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone will see it.
For sure.
Yeah, and I would say from our end, from our end, when we started this film, or even when I started in my in this field, I never really thought that people would respect what we do, And I think that as you move forward and you better yourself, especially if you're here in Houston, where film industry is, it's questionable. We have a major project here in Houston, probably one or $2 to $5 million films in Houston. It's very, very small. And then you have a bunch of these independent projects that are 50,000 and below. They're running around everywhere shooting, but you don't really see a massive industry here. Our industry is more commercial, and and what I tell people is that you need to leave Houston to see what's out there. Look at the other markets that you're competing against. And the best thing about now is that we have things like iPhones and social media and stuff where you can build your own market. It can be agnostic to where you're from or where you're at, and you can. Even if you have a micro market of 10,000 people or 20,000 people that are diehard fans that will buy your product, that will push what you do, I mean, you're already on your way. So you share your stories, create. We have so many tools, that are out there that you can use now. So I would just say that, I never thought people would give us money to create films, but I'll tell you what, it was so hard for us to get the money for the first one. For the second one, I had several people offering. Yeah. So it was completely different, in how we attack this, and those things will come. You just have to, really put some time into it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Great advice. I believe about the practicing. I've been doing what I do for 3 years now. It has evolved. It has changed over the years, and I have to practice as well. I have Sam that helps me, and we do behind the scenes stuff and all that. So yes, you got to practice on doing those things. We're gonna give y'all, our wonderful audience, an opportunity to ask any more questions out there. So if you have any questions regarding the movie journey or regarding what they're promoting, let us know. Drop down some questions below and we'll get to them. The movie journey is going to be coming out on April 30th, premiering. It'll be on Tubi, TUBI, and also available for pre-order. So you can also, we'll be sharing those links as well on my social media. That's one of the things that we love to do. We love promoting, we love helping. So if you are following us on Let's VAMONOS on Facebook or Instagram, we'll be promoting those links as well, and all of those resources for y'all to be able to watch the movie. So let me see here if I've missed any questions. I don't think I have. Thank y'all so much, though, for coming on here and supporting, whether you're related or not. We love it. We love all the support. But yeah, definitely. I'll also chime in a little bit. I don't want to share too much because I did get the opportunity to watch the movie, but I really just enjoyed the character building. I told you the character building was just amazing. In the beginning, it caught me the first 2-3 minutes in. I'm like, okay, there's a story here. I didn't know really where it was going, but there was a story. And there was also, like I mentioned, there's some themes of like the love, what you would do in a relationship, you would do for love, those themes that were sometimes, you know, put us in situations and also kind of cloud our judgment sometimes about like what is the right thing to do. Like it never seems, when you're in love, you want to do the most, right? But then sometimes the most is also like maybe not the most beneficial.
Right.
So I really appreciated those themes as well. I won't give away the ending, but you got to watch it. It is one of those movies that I actually wanted to watch it again because I was like, wait, I got to watch it again because
You'll catch
I'm
things,
just, you catch things. And I'm not a big, like, I like watching movies over again, but then I was like, I missed something. What did I miss?
Yeah.
The ending is definitely, it grabs you.
Yeah.
It grabs you for sure.
That's great. Yeah, well, thank you so much for even checking it out. You know, soon, like I said, we'll be doing more promotional things where we'll hopefully ask people to come in and put a review. So when you do check it out, don't forget to review it on, you know, IMDb and you know, all those different places.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, thank you so much.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it. It's awesome. So yeah, thank y'all so much. Any last words? I always like to give my guests the last words. Is anything y'all would like to share that we hadn't chatted about, or just, you know, anything that last words per se?
Seriously, just if you watch it, I'm gonna be thankful, so thankful just for you to watch it. If you like it or if you don't, that's totally up to you.
Yeah.
I've always been please, only if you like it. No. The biggest thing as well advice for filmmakers is just put it out there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just do it. Have thick skin because somebody's gonna tell you something. It's like, I don't like this person. Their nose is too big. It's like, come on, I can't change that. It's like, what do you want me to do? It's like that. It's like it's just part of life. And so enjoy it, have fun with it, and I hope we get to have you guys as audiences again for other movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, and thank you so much just for, you know, for coming out and doing this with us. You know, I think I explained a little bit that the Houston market is so, it's, you know, so like you might be known in this pond, but you're not known in this pond. But then you leave out of the state and you go to a place there and people recognize you more, and you're like, this is crazy, you know, but I'm in Houston and I live here. So that's the one thing that I would just recommend to everybody too. And I thank you for doing this because you're literally bridging our communities and they're getting to see that, there are some filmmakers that are out here that are based in Houston, and we actually do some pretty dope stuff, some pretty legit stuff. And I love your setup and everything that you're doing here. You guys, if y'all don't see the behind the scenes, like, there's people running like all kinds of cool stuff here that I would be intimidated to do, and I do this for a living. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely been some practice as well, and it's growing, and definitely, you know. But yeah, I love. I don't really. You're talking about bridging that gap, right? So I talk with us. But when the opportunity came about it, you put it out there, which I love that you put it out there. You're asking people, hey, I'm ready to talk about this. I'm like, let's do it. Like, you know, that's what Let's Vamonos is. Let's Vamonos. Let's go. We're ready to move and make it happen. Yeah, let's make things happen. So if we don't have any more comments or questions, we are gonna show the behind the scenes people. Where's Natty?
She's
over there. She's back there. You will get to see. So if you've missed this live, if you're just coming on or you didn't catch the first 20-30 minutes of it, no worries. This live will be aired again on our platform, so you can watch at your convenience anytime, and we'll be able to also make some highlights as well of the episodes, also behind the scenes stuff. So y'all know my mom's behind the scenes. She's back there, she's recording. So I'll be sharing also behind the scenes stuff as well on my Instagram and Facebook, everywhere where I'm at pretty much. So we really appreciate y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna just make sure, before we go. But as always, y'all, thank y'all so much for the love and support. We are gonna call it, we're gonna call it right now. I love these guys. Who's that?
That's my dad.
That's your dad? Oh, awesome. Hello. But yeah, we really appreciate everybody that has come on here and supported and continue to support. Again, April 30th, I'm going to sear it through y'all's minds. April 30th, the movie The Journey comes out. It's going to be live live on April 30th on Tubi, and then pre-order is available today.
JourneyTheMovie.com.
JourneyTheMovie.com. Yes, so go check it out. So we'll see y'all again till next time. Let's vamonos. Bye.
Is she ending everything?
I'm about to.